Hi, it's me Jacqueline. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, then please subscribe my channel and visit my Patreon page, link in the description.
When I walked back into my room, a new outfit was laid out on my bed. My first thought? I need a lock on my door. My second thought? I wish the shapewear set was pink instead of white. Lying next to the lingerie was a pink skirt, a white chemise, and a matching white top with a small pink flower at the neckline. I just stood there, staring at it. From the kitchen, Aunt Monica called out, "You're welcome." I rolled my eyes but couldn't help grinning. She was never subtle. Becky appeared at my door. "Just put your shapewear and undergarments on with your slip so I can show Aunt Monica my prom dress." I hesitated. It felt like I was helping her more than I was helping myself, like at the end of the day, she would get everything she wanted, and I would end up with nothing. Not that it mattered. Aunt Monica adored Becky. She always had. I picked up the cincher and sighed. "I'll need your help putting this on." Becky stepped inside and helped me fasten it. "Let me know if you need help with anything else," she said before shutting the door. At least she was considerate enough to give me privacy. I let the towel drop and started dressing. It had been nearly a week since I'd worn my old underwear. I wondered what I'd do next week after this punishment was over. I liked my undershorts. They felt clean. Still, I slipped into the new shapewear with ease. After inserting my false upper part, I studied myself in the mirror. And then, a thought crept in. What would it be like to have real breasts? My stomach tightened. That thought scared me. I quickly slipped on the lace-trimmed slip and opened the door. "Becky?" I stood on the stool for nearly an hour as they discussed Becky's prom dress. They spoke about me as if I wasn't even there. I wondered if that's what it was like for real models. If people just saw them as objects, beautiful, attractive objects. Finally, Mom ended the discussion, calling everyone to breakfast. Becky helped me change. I slipped into the new outfit Aunt Monica had picked out. And as I smoothed my skirt down, I realized there was no stopping this. After breakfast, Aunt Monica wanted to take Becky and me shopping. I did not want to go. Ever since I was little, since that time Aunt Monica lost me at the circus and didn't even realize I was missing, I had never liked going anywhere with her. Mom understood that. She never forced me to go on shopping trips with Aunt Monica and Becky. But this time, she called me into her room for a talk. Of course, Aunt Monica tried to follow, but Mom waved her off. She closed the door behind us and looked at me. "What's wrong?" "You know I don't like traveling with her." "You were 5 when that happened," she reminded me. "I know," I admitted, shifting uncomfortably. "But I still get anxious just thinking about traveling with her." Mom waited, sensing there was more. "Besides," I added, "I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel like things should go back to the way they were." She studied me for a moment. "Are you unhappy?" I hesitated. "No, yes, no." I let out a breath. "I'm scared." Without a word, Mom pulled me into a hug. Then she stepped back, fussing with my hair like she always did when she was trying to comfort me. "Do me a favor," she said gently. "Go with your aunt. She planned this whole day just for you." I wanted to say, "If anything happens to me, it's your fault." But instead, I just muttered, "Okay." Becky sat in the front seat, chatting away with Aunt Monica. I sat alone in the back, staring out the window, wondering what Aunt Monica had planned. She was always excited about her outings. The problem was, what she found exciting and what I found exciting were never the same. She loved unique, out-of-the-way places. I preferred the mall. And fast food. After an hour on the road, she turned into an old neighborhood, weaving through narrow, brick-paved roads before parking in front of a small brick building. A wooden sign hung above the door. "The Magic Mirror Salon." Aunt Monica turned in her seat. "An old law school friend of mine owns this place." I frowned. Why would someone give up being an attorney to cut hair? She just smiled. "You'll see." The Salon. The shop was long and narrow, with exposed brick walls and an old, wood-planked floor. To the left, behind the reception desk, was a single wash station next to 2 dryer stations. The desk itself was an antique, Victorian style. In front of the large storefront window, The waiting area held 4 mismatched wingback chairs. To the right, 2 styling stations sat against the brick wall. The air smelled like a mix of potpourri and chemicals. A very tall woman, easily over 6 feet, was washing a client's hair. Her hands were huge, almost big enough to palm the woman's head like a basketball. The word Amazon popped into my head. When she saw Aunt Monica, her face lit up. "You made it." Then she spoke. Her voice was deep, and I realized she's a guy. Aunt Monica grinned. "We got a late start. These are my nieces, Becky and Bobby. This is Paige." "Hi," Becky said, eyeing the salon. I gave a shy wave. "Hi." Paige turned to me, smiling. "You must be the birthday girl." She looked me over. A very special birthday from what I've been told. Her words confused me, then I remembered. "Oh, 13 is supposed to be a big deal." 13 next Saturday, I said. "Well, have a seat. I'll be with you soon." Aunt Monica turned to Paige. "Want some coffee?" "I have some in the back," Paige said, motioning toward a door. "I'll send the girls down the street to grab some muffins." "Wait, what?" Before I could protest, Aunt Monica was already digging in her purse for cash. The coffee shop. The shop was 2 blocks away. I was nervous about walking in public. As Becky and I made our way down the street, a man and his wife walked toward us. I saw his eyes move up and down. He was checking me out. Panic filled me. My hands clenched. My breathing hitched. But they passed. I exhaled. Inside the shop, I could feel people looking at me. I started fidgeting with my skirt. At the counter, the barista, some guy about our age, started flirting with Becky. I barely noticed. My attention was on the girl behind the counter. She was stunning. Long blonde hair that reached the middle of her back. A tiny waist. Full upper part. She looked like a Scandinavian supermodel. And apparently I was staring. Because as soon as we left, Becky turned on me. That was so embarrassing. "What?" "The way you stared at her." I frowned. I wasn't staring. Becky gave me a look. "You're an idiot." Fighting with Becky was pointless. It would only draw more attention. And we still had a long day ahead of us. Back at the salon. When we got back, Paige was ready for me. "Have a seat," she said, motioning to the wash station. I sat down. She draped a plastic apron over me. "Tilt your head back." Warm water ran through my hair. I had never had anyone wash my hair before. It was nice. Paige's fingers worked through my scalp, massaging gently. I closed my eyes. I started to drift off. "Sit up, please." She gave the back of the chair a push, and I groggily sat up. "So, what are we doing today?" Paige asked, but not to me. She asked Aunt Monica. I didn't even get a say. Aunt Monica started talking about extensions. Becky butted in, gushing about how she wanted one too, so we could look more like twins. Apparently, this was very exciting for them. Aunt Monica made the final call. Which, of course, meant Becky got what she wanted. Paige started brushing some smelly stuff onto my hair. "You're a lucky girl." On my 13th birthday, I got a shotgun. I blinked. "A shotgun?" She nodded. Family tradition. All the young men got a gun on their 13th birthday. My dad gave me a Browning, double-barrel, over-under 12 gauge. I stared at her. Handing me that gun was a proud moment for him. The room went quiet. Then Paige smirked. "But personally?" She chuckled. I wished for a training shapewear. Aunt Monica burst out laughing. That moment confirmed what I had already suspected. Paige was, or at least had been, a man. I wanted to turn around and get a better look at her, but instead, I studied her through the mirror on the opposite wall. I had never met a person like her before. I wasn't clueless. I knew about transgender people, cross-dressers, and drag queens. I just had never met one in real life. Her face was feminine, smooth skin, soft features, long silky hair. Looking just at her face, it was hard to tell. But once I really looked, I could see it in her body. She had some curves, but she was tall, broad-shouldered. A big girl, which made her look somewhat masculine. I wondered, when people looked at me, could they tell I was a boy? For the first time, I felt relieved that I was so petite. It didn't seem obvious that I was a boy. Paige left me sitting in the chair with the smelly stuff in my hair while she started working on Becky. Aunt Monica stood near the front of the store, deep in conversation on her cell phone. The timer went off. Paige hurried back, rinsed my hair, then wrapped a towel around my head. "Sit tight," she said before going back to Becky. I sat still, glancing at the long length of black, curly hair lying on the counter. The extension Becky had been talking about earlier. I wondered how it would feel when Paige attached mine. A few minutes later, Paige returned to me. She unwrapped the towel and combed through my damp hair, pulling it back into a small ponytail before trimming my bangs. She barely cut anything, just enough to even them out. Then she started trimming the rest of my hair, gently pulling it back as she worked. "Big plans for your birthday?" she asked. "I don't know," I admitted. "Aunt Monica has it all planned out." "You're lucky to have an aunt like Monica," Paige said as she continued trimming. "I'll insert your extension after I finish with Becky." Then she left me sitting there again. Paige turned back to Becky, trimming her bangs and styling her hair. I tried to tune into Aunt Monica's phone call, but I couldn't make out what she was saying. I just knew she was still talking. Paige had said I was lucky, but I didn't feel lucky. Aunt Monica had barely spoken to me in the car. She had sent me off to fetch coffee as soon as we arrived. Now she was spending the whole time on the phone. I wanted to believe the call was important. It didn't take long for Paige to finish Becky's trim and dry her hair. Then she attached the extension and fussed over the ponytail. I watched, amazed at how much Becky's appearance changed with just that one addition. She looked different, older, more polished. Then it was my turn. My heart pounded as Paige came back to me. I was nervous, excited. This whole thing had been an emotional whirlwind. Part of me felt like I should hate this transformation. And yet, I didn't. I had felt excited when I saw the pretty blonde cashier earlier. And now I was excited about looking more like a girl. The guilt gnawed at me. Why do I feel good about this? I sat there, lost in my thoughts, and before I knew it, time had slipped away.
Please subscribe for the next part and visit my Patreon page for early access.